Welcome to the Romance Podcast. And before we get into the hard-hitting episode that we have planned for you guys, I want to let you guys take a look, if you're watching on YouTube, at my girl's smile. She's happier than ever. Why do we think Kenzie K is happy?
Is it sarcasm?
Because travel baseball is over.
Oh, God.
If you checked out our last episode, you know that, man, it got rough for a while, but the season is now over, and Kenzie K has never been happier.
But what'd you do tonight?
Well, we had practice for tryouts.
I literally... So this is what's not going to happen. Tryouts are in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's practices. For some reason, you have to stare at kids practice. It's a you thing. I don't get it.
My son,
But
I want to make sure he's doing good.
But it's like, that's the point of his practice. I don't get it. Whatever. You have to coach practice too. Fine. You're going to do that, and then there's going to be tryouts. When I tell you we're actually done, there's not going to be like, well, the team wants to get together twice a week, and I got to go study that. Like, we will get divorced. So the season will be over after the tryouts if you want a wife.
If you follow us on social media at Kenzie and Roman, I put up the funniest reel ever. And this is the perfect example of that, where it's like behind every chatty, friendly, outgoing husband, and it's like the guy's like, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? And then it cuts to the wife who's got like a puss on her face, and it's like, is a wife that hates everybody.
That's
and
not
that
true.
is you.
That's such bullshit. People love me. I'm a nice fucking person. You're pissing me off.
They don't know you. Like, they don't know you like I know you.
Wow. So you don't think I'm nice?
I think you're great. But it's weird because, like, I am friendly and outgoing, and you secretly hate everybody.
That's not true. The problem is that right now I have like a morning show. I have to do events, and I have to do a lot of this stuff. Okay. And then we have a lot of our stuff that we have to do between TV and our podcast and all this stuff. Okay. We also have Tristan, who's in a lot of activities. We also have a baby who needs a lot of stuff. And I'm overloaded, and you're just like, why don't you have everybody over for a barbecue? I go, I don't want to have I don't want to do it. I barely want to be here myself. I don't want to invite more people to come over. I need help. I don't need more stuff, because I was a really good entertainer and stuff like that prior to our schedule getting completely overloaded.
Yeah.
It's just not where I am in my life right now. I just have to deal with it.
Well, great segue, because you are the ultimate entertainer, and all of a sudden, my wife is about to be an even bigger TV star, because we're getting hit up by people who have seen a little TV show called Say Yes to the Dress. It is finally aired,
I guess,
and or airing.
I don't know even.
Why don't you kind of give a little backstory? Because if you're new to the podcast, you may not realize that Kenzie was on Say Yes to the Dress a couple years ago.
Yes. So one of the first things I did when we got engaged, like within a week, I applied for Say Yes to the Dress. And I knew that we had time because we chose a 2-year engagement immediately. We had our wedding date picked out because we wanted to get married on our anniversary.
April 8th.
So a lot of people don't get engaged and have their wedding day planned within like 2 days, and we did. So easy peasy. So I applied for Say Yes to the Dress because I knew I had time to go through the application process and all that, because I had like a 2-year engagement, right?
And backstory, that's like your favorite show ever.
I love that show. I used to watch it with my mom all the time. And I was like, I mean, this would be fun, right? And I'm like, well, I'll just apply. And if not, but like, we should try.
And let me jump in here, because then Thanksgiving of 2019, right?
Was it? Was that when it
or
was?
It whenever we were engaged?
No, we didn't get engaged till 2021.
Okay, so Thanksgiving of 2021.
What are you talking about?
It was the cutest thing in the world, because we're at your parents' house in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And you got an email, and what did that email say?
That I got accepted onto the show, and we were gonna be on Say Yes to the Dress, and I lost my mind.
You were so excited.
I couldn't believe it, because I had never heard anything back for months, and I'm like, okay, so we're probably not gonna be on the show, whatever.
Yeah.
And then to get that news while I was home, like with my parents, my mom and I were like jumping up and down. It was so fun. So it's very exciting. And then that February, we flew to New York. Me, my mom, my sister-in-law, who's married to my brother, my, at the time, future sister-in-law, your sister.
My sister, yeah.
And my future mother-in-law, your mother, who are now, spoiler alert, both my sister-in-law and mother-in-law.
We got married,
Yeah, we went through with it. They all went to New York with me, which was so fun. We did the whole experience together. Really cool. The store is closed when you film. So it was just us in the store. But the little hang up was, is that we kind of were like, oh, COVID's done, and then it wasn't. It kind of came back kicking.
Yeah,
baby,
y'all had to
right
do
before.
like COVID tests and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Now, mind you, this is February of 2022 now.
Yeah, February of 2022.
Yeah.
So it's still a little over a year till our wedding. We're filming Say Yes to the Dress, and like we have this trip planned, and then I get contacted by production. They're like, hold up, we may not be able to do it. Because like all of a sudden, all these New York restrictions with filming, because there's totally separate rules for like film companies and all the like production rules and all this stuff. And I'm like, we have a trip booked. And like, also I do need a wedding dress. Like this is not something, this is not like a one-off. Like I have to buy one, bro. So they pause everything. Then they get back to us like, here's what we're going to do. You guys have to take, I now even forget, what's the like the actual COVID test, not the rapid.
Yeah, it was like a PCR or something stupid. Yeah.
So they were like, you have to take like the real 3-day result COVID test and send it to us before you fly.
Yeah.
And then upon arrival to filming, we had to pass 2 rapids, every single person.
Yeah.
And if anybody failed, including crew members, the entire production was going to get shut down and we couldn't film that day.
And they needed like proof of vaccinations.
Yes, and we had to send our vaccination card. So we needed 3 negative COVID tests, 3 negative COVID tests, and vaccination cards. It was,
and mind you,
for the entire, but it's just, it's everybody and the crew.
Yeah.
If one person failed, we flew to New York for nothing, and I don't get a dress, and I don't get to do the show. And this is like, you're talking director, all the videographers, me and my entire entourage, that's 5 people. Randy, okay, the icon of the show, Lisa, like, because the consultants, if anybody who walked in that building failed, we were screwed. So I was dripping in sweat.
You were a nervous wreck.
Oh my gosh,
you were a nervous wreck. But the good news is that apparently everybody passed and
we were COVIDless, baby.
Nobody had COVID and whatever. So now you get to New York City. Why don't you walk everybody through? Because it's a big deal. Actually, before you get to that,
yes,
I was not aware of this show. I've heard of this show. I never watched this show. I'm a guy. I watch the Cubs and like sports.
You didn't watch Say Yes to the Dress?
No, I didn't. But
what?
But just the name of it, Say Yes to the Dress, TV show. My girl got casted. She's going to New York.
What's up?
I'm like, okay, cool. Flight, hotel, transportation, taken care of. Wedding dress, taken care of. What a great situation. The wedding dress is gonna be free, and then explain the reality of this reality show.
No, you pay for everything.
Everything.
You just get to be on the show.
You pay. What a genius concept for a show. Like literally, everyone wants to be on it, and they don't pay anything.
So here's what I will say. When this show first started, if you go back to Say Yes to the Dress season 1, okay, and then 2, 3, before it became like the phenom that it is.
Okay.
They were just filming women who like walked in. This was like totally not a casting thing.
Okay.
The store was not shut down. It was packed. So this used to not be like, people would travel to the store anyways. Kleinfeld's is like a legendary bridal store. Yeah. So many people travel to it. It holds designers. They have exclusive partnerships with designers that you can't get at any other stores, things like that, okay? So it was a legendary, you're talking New York City, iconic bridal shop. That's why the show originated. It's like, this is a destination. Let's film women getting their wedding dresses, right? But they used to do flash sale episodes, all this. Now, maybe they talked to people a little bit beforehand to make sure they weren't crazy or something, but this was not a shut down store operation. It definitely wasn't the casting that I know I went through, the interviews and the photos of my guests and who I had to talk to and the storylines. It was in depth. They weren't doing like that at the beginning. I don't think people were paying for these whole trips that it did. Now, once the show was on TV, maybe people are flying there hoping to get on.
Right.
You could see something like that because now people go to Kleinfeld, just say they were at Kleinfeld, let alone be on the show, right? So the problem is it has become iconic. It's something that you want to do.
Huge.
It's something you want to be a part of. You're in love with these consultants. The fact that Randy Finoli helped me pick out my dress, like you have to understand, like, okay, you love the Cubs. Would you pay money to play a game with them? Or would you think that should all be free? We pay a lot of money to go watch them.
We do. Season tickets are pretty expensive.
Yeah, exactly. So same concept.
Okay, but devil's advocate here.
Yes.
Okay, you don't get paid. They don't pay for your trip.
No.
They don't pay for your dress.
No.
This TV show generates tons and tons of money.
It does.
So that's my point. It's like a cash cow. Like the show generates so much money and they pay for nothing. It's a genius concept.
I will say it would be cool if they covered like flights or something or hotels. Because I feel like they probably could get a hotel partnership That would have been nice. I understand not paying for the dress because
It's so expensive.
Well, one, it's expensive. Yeah. Two, one of the main questions is, what is your budget?
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. You have like budget brides, and then you have these girls who walk in who are like unlimited. I'll spend $50,000. I'll get custom. If you're taking care of the cost, everyone's gonna walk out with a $25,000 dress because why the hell wouldn't you?
That's
true. They have $25,000 dresses on the floor.
But the trip, hotel,
yes, I will
should be
say
covered.
They should not pay for the dress because it's part of the intrigue of it. There's sweet stories about who's paying for it or why. Mm-hmm. And I will say they have definitely done really, really cool things where women have gone on there. I remember a specific episode where a girl's house caught on fire and she lost her wedding dress.
Oh, that's sad.
And she was now needed to buy another one, but she only had like a $2,000 budget. Yeah. And they paid for her dress, so they covered costs, or somebody who beat cancer. They've had those episodes.
Why didn't you make up a story?
That's really nice. That's a good thing.
Not
to
like
do.
a cancer, but like a fire. Like you could have made that, you know.
Oh yeah, because nobody suffers from that. Good. No, but
I'm joking.
Now I will say the dress was free for you and I because my parents were amazing, and right before we flew out, told me that they were going to cover the cost of the dress.
Yeah, it was very sweet.
And they gave us a grandiose budget of $10,000.
Even Randy and Lisa?
Yes.
They were like, wow, it's a hefty budget. Yeah.
So it was really, really cool of them. I'm their only daughter. They had two boys who had already been married. And I think they were ready for the girly princess moment.
That was very, very sweet of them. It
was beyond sweet of them.
They also contributed to the wedding as well.
Heavily.
And they threw us a wedding shower. No, baby shower.
They threw us the baby shower.
Sorry.
Yes.
My sister and
your mom
did the wedding shower. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, so my family did the wedding shower. Your family did the baby shower.
Yes.
And your parents bought the beautiful, beautiful dress.
And contributed financially to the wedding. Yeah. And mind you.
And they had you, which was great for me.
Thank you. Also, I mean, one, we had a destination wedding, so they also had to pay for their trips to the destination wedding. Yeah. They also, like, let's not make light of this. My mom had to pay for 2 trips to New York because, spoiler alert, I got the dress at Kleinfeld's and we had to go back for a week. I couldn't believe this. So I get the dress and they're like, so the alterations, when you get alterations, a lot of times you come back like 1 month and then another month. And I'm like, I can't fly to New York every other month for alterations. Right. And they go, well, you can pay an express fee and you can be in New York for a week. And every single day we do a fitting. So I had a fitting every single day for a week, and then they shipped the dress to you. So my mom and I had to take a week-long trip to New York City, and she was like, you got it. This is the most expensive dress of my effing life.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
2 trips to New York.
But y'all had so much fun.
Oh my God. We had like the time of our lives. It was so awesome. I loved it.
Let's come back to the second trip. So don't gloss over the wedding dress, the first time experience, because you had long days and long nights at Kleinfeld's, and you weren't finding the dress you wanted.
Okay, so here's the deal. We pull up skirt early in the morning to Kleinfeld's, me and the entourage, right? We pass our COVID test, thank goodness. And we had to wear masks until we did that, which, like, I know this isn't the most important thing, but I just had my makeup professionally done. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please. But, like, we weren't putting anyone in danger. We were in a room of us 5. We'd been around each other and sharing a hotel room. So anyways, we passed the COVID test, and now it's time to film. We filmed for like over 13 hours.
Yeah.
So we filmed the walking in, and they were like, walk around the store, check out dresses. I didn't meet Randy or Lisa until we were filming. So that was a genuine introduction. Yeah. They're like, we're going to bring them in. And we started we're kind of asking me about different dresses, walking around, asking every single member of the entourage, right? So my sister-in-laws, mother-in-law, and mom got to both all kind of point out dresses and why they like them. So everyone got interviewed in that way. Mm-hmm. Then it was time for me to go back and actually put on wedding dresses. They already had one pulled for me because the casting process, you have to go over designers you like, dress style you like, send in photos. So they already know this kind of going into it, so they can be somewhat prepped for this appointment and the filming schedule. So we go back, but this isn't as easy as putting a dress on because there's someone filming you while you're putting the dress on.
Yeah.
There's 8 people in your changing room, and you're like...
They better have been all girls, by the way.
It was not.
What?
And so I'm like, okay, excuse me.
Oh my God, I'm so mad.
So I'm trying to change. You have to stay mic'd up the whole time. It's this interesting, process, right? Because it's kind of this intimate moment.
By the way, me and Tristan, my 10-year-old, watched the segment today, this morning on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, his question was, how does that dress stay on? When they were showing your chest, he's like, how does that stay on? And I'm like, they have like tape, but I mean, but he was like looking at the front, and your dress is kind of like almost like there were no sleeves and no like hold ups. So he's like, hey, how did that stay on?
It's magic.
And I'm like, let's not look at that area. Just look at her face. She's pretty.
What the hell? It's not inappropriate how a dress stays up. But anyway,
I mean, I kind of when they were showing like the part they were showing, and he's like, how did that stay on?
You're like, 'cause her boobs.
Yeah, I'm
lifting the dress up.
Not ready to talk to him about that yet.
Okay. Anywho.
Sorry.
So we're putting the dress on, whatever, and I walk out. I love the first dress, and I have to say, every dress that I've now seen on TV, it does not do it justice because there's all these little details, and because it's these huge white like puff balls and everything's white, you can't see it. So the first dress I walk out in probably had 1 million like little beads on it.
And this is the one that was like $4,000 over budget.
So it was almost a $14,000 dress they put me in first. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh
so
my
that's
God.
the thing. A lot of the comments, first off, are very, very positive for you and your mom and our family and everything. But there were some negative ones about this family gave a budget of $10,000 and Lisa came out with the first dress being $14,000. That's bullshit.
It was kind of messed up, and I was really stressed about it. And I knew what they were trying to do because they have to have a storyline, right? So I do believe that they were trying to give this like, does she fall in love with a more expensive dress energy or whatever? So I get it.
And you've made comments about your mother in the past about her being like stressed about money and things like that.
Listen, my mom is good at handling money and she budgets and she does that. They gave me this hefty budget.
Yeah.
I don't think many people would have spent $14,000 on a dress, let alone 10. Honestly, it was really, really like this glorious budget. And I felt a little bad for her while filming actually because they kept... okay.
They're trying to dig a little bit, right?
They're trying to dig,
yeah,
but not in a negative way. It's just so you have stuff to edit. Like you have to put together an episode.
Yeah, of course.
So, for example, during like those one-on-one like interviews that you have, right? Like the confession booths, as they used to call them. They would ask me the same question like 7 times in a row. Just be like, oh, word it a little different to the time. Do that, just so they have all these editing options.
Yeah.
So they kept going back because I said, listen, my mom's not a budget breaker and like leave this woman alone. And we made like a coupon clipping joke or whatever. But a few times they made they would be like, well, mom likes deals. Mom, and she left. And you don't know what people are going to do with this footage.
Right.
You've been there for 13 hours. You said a million things. By the way, you're mic'd up even when you don't realize it.
Yeah.
Like you're changing. You're not in front of a camera.
Were you guys drinking at all? Alcohol?
No.
No?
No. I was deliriously hungry and thirsty. For 13 hours, we did not get to drink or eat on set. Not food and drink for us. So
she gets hangry, y'all.
I was like, good Lord.
She gets hangry.
So you're mic'd up, and there's moments where like I ran to the bathroom or I did that, and like you're still mic'd up. And so like I'm sure there's moments I said something to my mom or whatever, and you're like, God, I hope they don't. You could take any word, anything. You could. My mom could roll her eyes because she's hungry, but what they could do is show an eye roll when your mom says something, if they feel like it, right? So we left, and I felt bad for my mom. She goes, I really hope that this episode doesn't come out and they try to make me look like a cheap person. Like, I wanted to buy my daughter's dress, and I gave her a $10,000 budget. I hope they don't spin this episode to be like the mom who doesn't want to pay. Like, and that could have been heartbreaking. And to be honest, I've been stressed about this episode coming out for so long because I was so worried we'd watch it and it would hurt her feelings when she was doing something so great.
I watched it for the first time last night. You sent me the clip on YouTube, and your mom comes off awesome.
Amazing.
Like, it made me tear up when I watched her face watching her daughter for the first time in a wedding dress. Like, she was like choked up. Like, your mom came off awesome.
Yes.
So like, I'm glad.
And they didn't do that to us. I also want to give credit to the staff because listen, 13 hours of footage. You could make anybody. You could make like a saint just look like a bad person.
They made our family look really, really. Because even
did.
like Kelly and then my sister and my mom, everyone looked really, really good. Like, not like, I mean, yeah, they look pretty, but I'm saying like they all look good about supporting you and
yes, they
and
did
positive.
Not try to make it like they did not try to make something that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was not like cheap, angry. People are sick of being there was none of that. And I was really, really grateful for it because I didn't want anything bad to come out of something so sweet. You get worried. So I will give so much credit to the show for not doing that because I think it's probably pretty easy to do. So anyways, I come out in that first dress. And when I tell you this thing is hand beaded, when you look at the episode, I could totally see why people are like, oh, this is not your dress. Because it looks like just a white ball. You can't tell. But it was beautiful beading, like head to toe. And I did love it. It was the first wedding dress I ever tried on. And you know I was big and poofy. And I loved it.
It was a $14,000 dress. Wow.
It was. And I was just like, and so I'm like, I don't know. Like, I really like it. But like, okay.
The first one you ever tried on, ever.
Yeah. I'm like, it's a super pretty dress, right? And I go back there and then I put on another one. This one I did not get to see. So here's the weird thing. This episode is aired in other countries.
Yeah.
It's also available online in portions. I have not got to see it air in its entirety in America yet. So I don't know what's going on.
As great as the experience was and as great as the show is, they have not contacted you or updated you
fell off
on
a cliff.
Anything.
I didn't even know this aired until somebody DM'd us the other day.
Yeah, shout out to Colleen.
And said, I loved your episode. I'm in tears. And I'm like, bitch, what? What episode? Where?
Right.
And then I found the YouTube clip, which is 8 minutes. But all they did is pick out the first and last part. They took out the middle that airs on TV. So we're missing a chunk of it.
It's on, we found it on YouTube on TLC Australia.
And Ireland. So it's airing in all these countries. I don't know. I don't know. I know they're still in the middle of airing the season in America, so maybe it's like an upcoming episode. I'm sure there's streaming rights and all this stuff.
If you want to see the episode, the clips at least that we have already seen, we posted yesterday on our socials at Kenzie and Roman. You can see it on our Facebook, on our Instagram, on Twitter. But
it's definitely missing some meat in the middle. So if the episode eventually comes out in America, or you can fly to Australia if you really want to watch
just
it.
go to Australia.
So we're working
on it. It's
on
beautiful over there.
But anyways, the next dress I put on, I loved, and it was sexy. It was this mermaid. But the thing is that you and I work in media, so we do tons of events. Now, a mermaid style dress, that's when it's like tight and just flares out at the bottom. I have actually worn that to events. So I felt like I'm somebody, like not everybody works in an industry where they have like events in their career.
Yeah.
So
and you're like super extra. So like you amp it up for like, the event was probably like a pumpkin pie eating contest. And you showed up in a mermaid dress.
No. So anyways, I have absolutely worn that body style a bunch of times. I actually wore that to prom. That was like the body shape I picked for prom. So I'm like, I love this dress, but I totally feel like I could wear it to something else, right?
So I didn't see dress number 2.
You've not seen it.
Okay.
Then they put me in a dress that was like Vogue editorial. It like had this deep plunge. It was huge. I loved it. Again, I was like, can I buy it and wear it to a different event? Because it did not feel like my bridal moment, but it was stunning, okay? And they were just like not hitting the nail on the head. I'm like, I like everything. And I said to Randy, I go, God, everyone always said that like you'll just know when you have the dress, and I just don't feel that way. I just like everything. And he goes, well, then you haven't put the right dress on. And I'm like,
and if anybody knows, Randy knows.
Amen. You don't even understand what you just said.
Oh no, I get it.
I was like, okay, Randy, I hear you. So this is the only thing that I will say. There was like a little bit of tension behind the scenes. I felt like the director was not getting along with the consultants.
Ooh.
And I was kind of in the middle of it.
Here's a little tea.
Okay. And I was like, I just want to get a dress. There was a little bit of drama going on because the director like was like, okay, Lisa, you walk off holding the dresses. And Randy's like, I would never do that. And she's like, what do you mean? He goes, I would never make a female consultant carry all the dresses while I walk away. Like, no, I would carry the dresses. And there was just like these, like, that's not who I am as a person. And you're going to make me look bad. And these things were going on. And I'm like trying to pull my top up. I'm like, put a dress on. And like, there's these discussions going on. So the director, Randy, brought back a dress from his collection. And he goes, you know what? Let's just go a totally different direction, a totally different style. I want you to put this on. Holy crap, it was the only dress I hated.
Really?
I hated
Randy's collection was just not good.
No, his dresses are great. Like, you can look bad as a person.
This dress in particular was not your dress.
It did not look good on me. Yeah. I'm sure there's a woman who's going to be like so petite and cute. And I looked horrible in it. I hated the dress. And so I literally got it up to here and I'm like, take it off my body.
Wow.
Well, the director comes back and so does Randy. And they're like, we want to see you in it. And I'm like, I don't want it on me. And they're like, we want to see you in it. And I'm like, oh my God. So to put this dress back on, and they start interviewing me. And now I'm talking to the designer is in front of me.
So Randy designed this dress.
Yes. Wow. And I'm like, it's not for me. And he's like, what about it? And I'm like, I go, you know what? Whoever wears this is a better person than I am. Like, this dress is for a really good person.
What do you mean by that?
Because it was like so like sweet. Do you know what I mean?
You're not sweet.
I'm sweet, but like I'm not that sweet. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, it's just like, and he said to me, he goes, like it's virginal. And I go, it's abstinent, bitch. Like it is this thing. It would be like, if I thought like a sweet 16, like a 16-year-old wanted to get married, I'd put her in this dress. It was just very sweet.
Okay.
And so it was not for
And
my
you're
body.
spicy.
It was not. It had no spice.
You're a spicy girl.
It was white bread, baby. Yeah. Like it was not doing it
you're
for
like
me.
wheat or like.
I'm like a tortilla. Yeah. So I'm like, no. So it wasn't doing it. So it's the only dress I disliked. And then we finally it was like a no. And this is the weird thing. I brought in a picture, right, of what I wanted. No one would look at my picture because the picture wasn't a dress at Kleinfeld's. But I was just trying to give people an example because what I really wanted was basically a mermaid style dress with an overskirt that didn't shoot out in the front. So I wanted it to be really, really big on the hips and in the back and have that full skirt, but you could still see the shape of my body, which, spoiler alert, I have a dress like that, right? That's what I ended up getting.
And a great body.
Thank you.
So,
but I had a picture like that I found on Pinterest, right? Just of that shape. I just wanted them to understand the shape because it's not a specific style. It's like I want a mermaid with an overskirt with a nut. It's not like just saying I want ball gown or something, right? So they're like, I keep trying to describe it. And I'm like, can you guys just look at the picture? And Randy hadn't heard that before. And he goes, can everyone stop for a second? And I go, what? And he goes, there's been a picture this whole time. And I said, yeah, but no one will look at it because it's not a Kleinfeld dress. And he looked at the director and goes, this is still her actual bridal appointment.
Wow.
And we're supposed to be finding her a dress.
Good for him, man. Good for him.
He like really, and I'm like, I just want to show you this photo. And he looked at the picture. Randy saved the day. He looked at the photo and goes, okay. And then everyone took a break. Okay. It was like a 45-minute like reset.
He probably bitched out everybody.
So everybody else, like the crew and stuff, ate. We got offered like granola bars, but the crew had like lunch and all this stuff. It was a 45-minute break. Everyone took a break except Randy. Randy spent the entire break pulling dresses, finding overskirts, like working his ass off to like finally find the photo that he just got to see, right? So we come back, I walk in the dressing room and I'm like, oh yeah, like here we go. I see like 5 things I want to try on. The first thing I get put in by Lisa and Randy after that was the dress that we got married in.
Oh, that's cool. See, if they just trust your vision, people should realize Kenzie's vision is a real thing.
It was real. So we walked out and it was like exactly what we described, and with the huge train and the poofy sides. The only thing we had to add was they were adding like little cap sleeves to it because it didn't have cap sleeves, but they're like, that's an option. So we're adding cap sleeves.
And Tristan was worried it wouldn't stay up without the cap sleeves.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So we added cap sleeves to it, and then we added multiple more layers of crinoline under the skirt to make it even poofier.
You're a poofy girl.
I wanted it nice and big. From there, they put the veil on me, the whole thing. I actually got to say yes to the dress, but literally we filmed that whole day. I tried on, actually, filming takes so long. I only tried on like 5 dresses in like 10 hours, which is insane. Wow, that's crazy. Right? And just getting them on and walking out there and getting the reaction shots, all of that. But after that break, I came out and that was my dress. So which was awesome.
That was February of 2022.
Yes.
We, mainly you, haven't heard anything about this episode.
No.
I take it back because you had to go back out there to get fitted.
So I will say, February 2022, whatever, my mom buys a dress, all that. The dress takes a year to come in. I didn't get to go to New York till February 2023 to do my fitting. Yeah. Which is insane.
Yep.
I got contacted the summer after February, and they were obviously on my social media. They were clearly editing the episode because they were on my socials and like, can you sign a release form for this video and this picture of you and your husband and all this stuff? So I signed all these release forms, sent it in. It was that summer. So I'm like, and I started to get nervous because I'm like, oh my God, this episode's going to like air in the winter before my wedding. Right. And I was so worried about you seeing the dress.
Yeah, and so, no, it hasn't.
No, it hasn't even aired in America yet. We have a baby.
It hasn't aired. We got married last year. We have a 5-month-old baby. And
we're good to go. We're the clear.
It still hasn't aired in America. We saw it on TLC Australia.
And Ireland.
And the crazy thing for me is that nobody has contacted you whatsoever. Like,
nobody said a word.
No heads up. Like, is it going to air? Is it not going to air? But, like, thankfully, we did have, Colleen, who was a big supporter of ours. And she said, hey, I saw you on, I saw you on the show, and you're like, wait, where was it? And
Yeah.
YouTube, and so anyways.
Yeah, she got to watch the episode on YouTube. Like, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. It's in a lot of different places. We found an 8-minute like synopsis, which again is a shortened version. I think they did the first look and the last look, and then just took out some of the action in the middle.
Yeah, and so we posted that yesterday on our social media at Kenzie and Roman. Go check that out. It's really, really cool. I mean, for me, I was laying in bed last night when you sent the link out to like our family chat, and I watched it because you were downstairs pumping, and I got choked up a little bit because it was like you were so happy, you were so excited. You the first dress, I could tell you liked it, but then it was $14,000, and but then like when you found your dress, and then to see like your mom get all emotional, my mom got emotional, my sister, like it was really cool to see like people that I love with the woman that I love, you wearing a dress that I absolutely adore and love, and you looked amazing in. So it was really cool. Like it was a cool reminder of our wedding that was like over a year ago now. It's crazy.
I have to say, I like miss our wedding so much. I miss everything about it. Like, yes, wedding planning was stressful, and I had to do a lot of it in another language, which it was a little bit of work, because Spanish is definitely not my first language, but I'm doing my best with it. And it was very stressful, but we also enjoyed it a lot. Like, we were not people who were like, I want our wedding to be done. We didn't have that experience.
No, yeah.
Even though there were stressful days, I was trying to plan it or work it out. Like, we really did enjoy the process. We enjoyed our wedding. We enjoyed our honeymoon.
Well, we enjoyed our wedding planning because I didn't do any of it.
Yeah,
like
you had it really easy.
I stayed out of the way. No, I'm saying, but like you liked that better because everything you wanted, you got.
Yeah.
And I stayed out of the way because I really didn't care. Like I cared about our wedding. I cared about me and you. I cared about getting married in Mexico. That was kind of my idea, and I really wanted to get married there just because I am, Latino, and I was like my
your dad's from Mexico.
family is from Mexico, so it meant a lot to me in that respect. But besides that, I really didn't care about anything else except that our friends and family were there. You say family and friends. Isn't it weird? Friends and family, like they have sales and stuff, but like really it should be family and friends. Like families first, and then friends, whatever. But our family and close friends were there. That's what I cared about the most. That obviously that you would show up, which you did.
I did.
And when it came to details and flowers and roses, I didn't really care.
But
whatever.
You did say to me that you really enjoyed like showing up to our reception.
Oh, it was amazing. It was beautiful.
Like you were like, I have an awesome wedding.
Yeah, but like I mean, you're great. You're a great decorator, and I mean our house looks great. Listen, I had this house back in 2014, but it never really truly became a home until you decorated the hell out of it. Like you're good at that kind of stuff. So I mean, I was pleasantly surprised at our wedding. It was gorgeous. I mean, the big chandelier and this big. I mean, it was awesome. But like I wasn't surprised from a standpoint of like I knew you were picking the right stuff. Plus I saw the bill. I knew we were paying an arm and a leg, so it better be the right stuff. But it was, and I mean, I think I kind of picked our wedding song. I mean, at least I suggested it. You agreed to it, so that was important, I thought.
You were surprised, which was fun. I don't even know if you knew we were gonna have a performance, but I hired this whole fire and drum like neon show. It was crazy on this huge stage that was in the Mexican Plaza.
Yeah.
And you looked at me and you're like, this is my
awesome.
wedding.
Well,
like, this is cool.
Like what wedding has a fire and drum show?
It was really cool.
I will say, besides like you looking gorgeous and just marrying the love of my life and all these different things and all of our family and friends being there, the next best thing for me was, and you know what this is, was the whole week my son Tristan was more on the shy side at night. Like we would go to the bars, we go to like different dinners, whatever.
At the family resort, not like the bars.
Yeah,
like,
no. It was a family resort.
Walk-up bars.
Yeah, so like we would congregate, whatever. Congregate. I graduated from college, I promise. But we'd get together every single night at like the outdoor bar, or the family, whatever. And he was very, very shy. Like my niece and nephew were dancing, family was dancing. Tristan was like kind of sitting down, and I was starting to get worried because he's shy-ish, but he's also not, right? And I was like, is he starting to like? Is it weird for him? And Daddy's getting married. Like I was starting to wonder because he was being so shy those couple nights. Well, at our wedding, beast mode got activated, and this kid was the dancing machine. I mean, I know we had a lot of fun, but Tristan may have had the most fun at our wedding.
The two people who went hardest at our wedding are Tristan and my brother Adam.
Yeah.
They were both insane.
Yeah, but your brother is an adult.
I know.
And Tristan was 8.
My brother drank. So on our
Your
wedding,
brother was drunk.
My brother was
and
drunk.
Tristan was just a kid.
No, listen. So our centerpieces, part of our centerpieces were Clase Azul tequila bottles, which was very fun because you were ringing the bell for us to, kiss, and like there were shot glasses at the table. My brother drank almost the entire one at the family table.
Yeah.
Tristan, this is the equivalent.
Drank 2.
No, kidding.
No, yeah.
The equivalent was Tristan running up to me and going, I had 6 churros, and running away. He kept going up to the dessert table.
Yeah, he did.
He was like engorging
He
himself.
was living his best life. And
He had so much
as a
fun.
dad, listen, I'm marrying, he loves you, but I'm still marrying somebody else, right? And you never know how the kid's going to react to that, But that wedding night showed me that he was all in, and he was so happy for his dad. He was so happy for his now stepmom. He had the most fun, and that as a dad made me so happy and so at peace with it all. I really connected everything together and made it just like the best night ever. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, we had an awesome wedding, but I genuinely I do miss it. I miss it being part of our lives. Like we actually went to Mexico a decent amount during that time too to plan our wedding and everything, which was awesome.
We haven't gone since. Why?
What do you mean?
We got a baby.
Oh yeah, we have a baby. I was like, whatever. I would have went pregnant. I would have done it.
No, but now we can't go to Mexico
for a little bit.
You know what? They might not let him. They might lock him up because he's crazy.
Stop it. What is wrong with you? How can you sit there and say something so beautiful about our one son and then say something so mean about the other?
No, he's an adorable little boy.
Are you talking about Tristan again?
Tristan is an adorable. No.
You're sick.
Marino is an adorable little boy, but he's challenging. And I'm not going to put you on blast here, but you, the past couple of days, have dealt with those challenges, and you, out of your mouth, have said a couple things. Okay, drink your wine. Yeah. So you're feeling my frustration a little bit.
No.
Now
because it's
Marino.
different.
It's different, okay.
Because he's in the middle of teething and he actually is screaming bloody murder from pain. And I'm constantly trying to put like little ice in his mouth or do like little things, but he's like actually in pain, so he's not sleeping as good through the night and like those things. So it's been tough, but he's the one who's in pain. So like you have to be there for him. You can't be mad at him. Something really hurts, and he's
like you shouldn't call him names, right?
I did not call him names.
You called him.
I was putting...
No,
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
No, you're lying.
I'm not lying.
You're going to lie.
You exactly what
you're going to lie to our audience.
Let me finish the story.
And then I'll tell you the truth. Go ahead.
So I was putting overalls on him because I was going to take his 5-month-old picture and he's teething and he's just losing it. And I spent about 15 minutes without exaggeration putting these overalls on him because every time I get a foot in the pant, he would take the other one out. And I literally finally, I had to rein him in and like put his feet through and I go, "You are a psychopath," is what I said.
Yeah, you just, that's right.
You see? I was like, and
well, because you try to get out of it. You're like, oh, I called you out. You're like, no, I said he's acting like, no. You called him a psychopath.
The difference is I wasn't angry when I said it.
She was like, you're such a psychopath.
No.
That's how she
said
it.
I was like, you are a psychopath is what I did. Because he was just, all I'm doing is putting your foot in the pants. Just bring it down, baby.
That is why we have not been back to Mexico.
Anyways, Justin doesn't want to make anything fun. So... it was a really awesome experience.
It was awesome.
Everyone go to New York.
And honestly, the Say Yes to the Dress coming out now, or at least soon on TV. I mean, some TVs in Australia and Ireland, but like just that is almost like the ribbon on the present, right? The bow on the present, where it's like the wedding was awesome. Everybody had a great time. Our family, our friends, us, our family, we had a great time. But like now this is kind of the reminder of like, oh, that was so cool. And like, who gets to be on TV and TLC? And you do, of course, right?
I know, but I just feel like we're so lucky that we work in the industry we work in because we get to relive so much stuff. Like you proposed to me on camera. And we have that proposal, which is really amazing. And then
but it was intimate.
Yes.
In case you don't know, like we used to, how we kind of got our start was we did couples videos where like I'd set up like a ring light.
It started during COVID.
And put a camera there facing us. So we would like do funny videos to the camera. So, it wasn't weird when I knew I was going to surprise her to propose, to have the camera rolling. We were doing a couple's video.
On our anniversary. And so I got the actual moment of like me proposing to her. And like we had that forever because thankfully we are in media and that was kind of our thing. Yes. So we have that. And then afterwards, we had to do like a mini press tour. We had to go like Windy City Live and talk about our engagement, all that. And that's filmed, and we have that. Which
ABC
is really cool.
New Year's Eve. We kind of did a cool thing about our.
Yes, we did it about our engagement. Yeah. So we have that. I have the buying of the dress, which is awesome. Yeah. We had our family member, Kimmy, filmed our all of our vows and the whole ceremony. So that we have so much stuff. And I just think about how much I would love to watch like my parents' wedding vows if they had that, or how we proposed, or it's so cool to actually have all of that stuff down to the wedding dress shopping. Yeah. Like that moment in the interview, like not like we took a picture while we were there or whatever. Like I got my mom's reaction to the first time I wore a wedding dress. Like I always get to look at I can always go back and look at my mom in one of the most special moments we've had, you know. It's
That's
really
the part
cool.
that got me. I was like, oh wow, like her face, it was so genuine. It was so like, it was so raw and emotional and stuff like that. Plus, she called me a cutie. That was pretty cool. Like,
she did call you a cutie.
I was like, yeah, she approves. All right.
That's all it took. If you getting called a cutie after years of us being together.
No, I'm saying like it's good to know that like your mom like approves of like.
No, mind you, that was years ago.
I've only gotten better.
I don't know.
I've only gotten better looking. I'm like a fine wine.
I don't think she was just commenting on your looks. I think she meant like sweetie, like a person.
Oh, I thought like just like being handsome. It wasn't just about looks.
That upsets you. Anyway, I can't dive into that.
I'm joking.
But
all jokes.
Another cool part of it was, yes, we went back the following February. My mom and I spent like a week in New York and literally had the trip of our lives. Yeah. Her and I, just because we didn't really have a bunch of plans. We did whatever we wanted in New York City for a week without any type of work or anything, and just had to make it to our dress fittings. And it was probably one of the best trips I've ever had. If
you and your mom and Marina want to do that again in February, like it's like a reunion of that, I'll sign off on it.
It's not cute. And I hope that you know that other people don't hear that and think it's cute. They think that you're mean.
I'm joking. Oh, meaner than the mom who calls him a psychopath?
That's not what I said.
No, that is what you said.
He wouldn't keep his feet in his pants.
All right. Well, on that note, again, I just want to say it was very cool to watch my now wife. I got to see your first time wearing a wedding dress as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, like that was really cool. You were emotional. I love when you put on like the dress. You said, and I'm misquoting a little bit, but like that you feel beautiful, you feel sexy, you feel romantic. That's really cool because you're this gorgeous girl with an incredible figure and the world in front of you. And I think people would be surprised to know that you have some self-esteem issues, which is crazy because you're the most gorgeous girl I ever met in my entire life.
Thank you.
So to see you in that moment saying that you feel beautiful and you feel sexy and you feel romantic, that was really cool. I love that you had that feeling, not just when you found the dress, but I'm assuming for our wedding as well, and that makes me very, very happy.
Oh, thank you, honey. That was sweet.
Well, you're welcome. You
redeemed yourself by saying something nice.
Well, I mean, don't forget, you cannot spell romance without Roman.
Oh, jeez.
Boom.